Hello friends, welcome to MN Toori. Today we will learn about the Ottoman Empire. This empire is one of the most important in history. It lasted more than 600 years. The story is full of power, war, culture, and change. Let's begin. 1. The beginning of the Ottoman Empire. The Ottoman Empire began in 1299. Its founder was Osman I. Osman was a Turkish leader. He lived in a region called Anatolia, now part of modern-day Turkey. At that time, the Byzantine Empire was weak. Osman and his followers started taking control of nearby lands. The Ottomans were strong warriors. They used horses and swords. They also worked with local tribes. Soon their power grew. Osman's sons and grandsons continued to expand the empire. The empire was called Ottoman after Osman. In Turkish, it is Osmanli. From a small principality, it grew into a powerful empire. 2. Early expansion. In the 14th century, the Ottomans began to take more land. They captured cities in Anatolia and Balkans. The Balkans include parts of modern Greece, Bulgaria, and Serbia. The Ottomans used smart strategies. They were patient and careful in war. They also formed alliances with local rulers. This helped them gain land without fighting many battles. By the mid-1400s, the Ottomans had a strong army. They used archers, foot soldiers, and cavalry. They also had elite troops called janissaries. Janissaries were soldiers trained from young boys taken from Christian families. They became loyal to the Sultan, the ruler of the empire. 3. The rise of Sultan Mehmed II. One of the most famous Ottoman rulers was Sultan Mehmed II, also called Mehmed the Conqueror. He became Sultan in 1451. Mehmed II wanted to expand the empire even more. In 1453, he captured Constantinople, the capital of the Byzantine Empire. Constantinople was a rich and important city. It had strong walls and many defenders. But Mehmed II used cannons and clever tactics. When the city fell, it became the new capital of the Ottoman Empire. Its name was changed to Istanbul. This event is very important in world history. It marked the end of the Byzantine Empire. 4. The empire at its peak. The Ottoman Empire reached its height in the 16th century. The most famous sultan during this time was Suleiman the Magnificent. He ruled from 1520 to 1566. Suleiman expanded the empire in Europe, Asia, and Africa. He captured Hungary, Iraq, parts of the Arabian Peninsula, and North Africa. The empire now had a huge territory. Suleiman was not only a great warrior but also a wise ruler. He created laws to govern the empire. These laws were fair and helped maintain order. He also supported arts, architecture, and education. Many beautiful buildings were built during his rule, including mosques and palaces. The Ottoman Empire became famous for its culture, wealth, and power. 5. Ottoman society. Life in the Ottoman Empire was organized. The Sultan was the top ruler. Below him were officials and governors. People were divided into different groups called millets. Each millet had its own religion and rules. For example, Muslims, Christians, and Jews could govern themselves in some matters. This system helped the empire manage many different cultures. Most people were farmers or traders. Cities were busy with markets, shops, and crafts. The empire had strong trade networks. Goods like spices, silk, and carpets were very valuable. Education was important. Boys studied the Quran and other subjects. Arts and music were also supported. The Ottomans created a rich and diverse culture. 6. Ottoman army and warfare. The Ottoman army was very powerful. Soldiers were trained from a young age. The Janissaries were the most famous. They were loyal and well organized. The empire also used navy ships to control the seas. They fought many battles in the Mediterranean and Red Sea. Ottoman military success came from strategy and discipline. They were flexible and used both cavalry and infantry effectively. Siege warfare was also common. Cannons and walls were important tools in battle. 7. Trade and economy. The Ottoman Empire had a strong economy. Trade was very important. The empire connected Europe and Asia, making it a center of commerce. Merchants sold silk, spices, coffee, and textiles. Istanbul became a busy market city. Roads and rivers helped transport goods. Farmers grew crops like wheat, rice, and cotton. Taxes from farmers and traders gave money to the government. The empire also used a stable currency. This helped trade grow. Wealth allowed the empire to build great cities and pay for wars. 8. Culture and art. Ottoman culture was rich and creative. Architecture was very impressive. Famous mosques like the Suleiman Mosque were built with grand designs. Ottomans loved calligraphy, ceramics, and carpets. They created beautiful patterns and colors. Music and poetry were also important. Education was highly valued. Libraries and schools were built. Many scholars wrote about history, science, and religion. The empire blended cultures from Asia, Europe, and the Middle East. This mix made Ottoman culture unique. 9. Religion in the Ottoman Empire. Islam was the main religion of the empire. The Sultan was the protector of Islam. Mosques were built in every city. The empire was tolerant of other religions. Christians and Jews could practice their faith freely. Each group had its own leaders and courts. Religious leaders, called ulama, advised the Sultan. They helped make laws and guided people in daily life. Religion played a central role in society. 10. Decline of the Ottoman Empire. After 1600, the empire began to weaken. Several reasons caused this decline. Wars became harder to win. European powers grew stronger. Trade routes changed and the empire lost income. Sultans after Suleiman were weaker. corruption and poor leadership increased. Provinces started to act independently. By the 18th century, the empire faced many defeats. Territory was lost in Europe and the Middle East. 11 reforms and modernization attempts. Ottoman rulers tried to fix the empire. In the 19th century, reforms were made called Tanzimat. These reforms aimed to modernize the army, government, and education. Railways and telegraphs were built. Schools and hospitals were improved. Despite these efforts, the empire struggled to compete with Europe. Internal problems and wars continued. 12 World War I and the end. The final years of the Ottoman Empire were during World War I. The empire joined the war with Germany. After the war, the empire lost almost all its lands. European powers divided its territory. In 1922, the last Sultan Mehmed VI was removed. The Ottoman Empire officially ended. In 1923, the modern country of Turkey was created by Mustafa Kemal Ataturk. 13. Legacy of the Ottoman Empire. Even after it ended, the Ottoman Empire left a big impact. Its culture, architecture, and law influenced many regions. Cities like Istanbul still show Ottoman architecture. Many foods, music, and traditions come from Ottoman times. The empire also influenced politics. The borders of the Middle East were shaped by its history. Ottoman history is a story of power, culture, and change. It shows how a small principality became a global empire. The Ottoman Empire lasted over 600 years. It began with Osman I and grew into a powerful state. It had strong armies, rich culture, and great leaders like Mehmed II and Suleiman the Magnificent. The empire faced challenges and eventually ended, but its legacy is still alive. Today, we can learn from its history about leadership, culture, and the rise and fall of empires. Thank you for watching this documentary. If you liked it, please subscribe to MN Toori and click the like button. Don't forget to share this video with your friends.